This is Matt, and Matt has just disembarked a cruise on board Explora Journeys Explorer 3. It was his first ever ultra luxury cruise, and in this video we'll be talking about what was included in the cruise fare. We find out what cost extra and whether the cruise genuinely felt all inclusive. We're joined by one of the fantastic agents on our team, Em, who has cruised with Explorer herself and knows so much about the cruise line. From the in-room dining options to the drinks, this conversation took me by surprise. So Matt, let's begin with you. Before this cruise, did you have any idea what was included in this Explora Journeys cruise? And was it what you expected?
It felt honestly completely all-inclusive. I've been on other cruises where you end up with a account to settle at the end, and this one wasn't even a factor, right? So
Really?
all is included, which is usually the thing that kind of grabs you on that account at the end. And yeah, all drinks, all food. There are things you could spend money on, I think, in terms of the shops. And then also like there's one specialty restaurant called Anthology where it's like a particularly fancy experience to go and be cooked for, and very fancy tasting menus, but didn't bother with that because the rest of the food was so good.
Yeah, it sounds like you can book this cruise. It's pretty easy not to spend any more money if you want. I have gone on mainstream cruises before where I have tried very hard. I have succeeded to come off with a £0 bill before, but you do often feel as though you're really, I'm making an effort to go to the buffet to get the free tea rather than having it in the cafe or something where it costs extra. My assumption, I've not done an Explorer Journeys cruise yet, with this kind of ultra luxurious cruising, is that you just don't have to think about that. And that's a lot of the luxury, right?
Completely right. Like you just don't think at all about any of that. Like there's just not prices listed on things as well across the ship. And you really notice that everything just feels truly all inclusive.
Yeah. Well, Em, you know a lot more than me and Matt about this and about other luxurious cruises. Is this, because Explorer Journeys is still pretty new, isn't it? For me, it feels like quite a new cruise line. Is this what you would expect with some other, I don't even know really what the comparable cruise lines are, and maybe you can let us know about that.
Yeah, I mean, they're 3 years old. I was lucky enough to do the second ever sailing on Explorer 1.
Nice.
And yeah, they're definitely comparable to all the other ultra luxury cruise lines, but they do things in a slightly different way. So the food is huge on any cruise, but for me particularly, that's what drives me in terms of cruising. And Explorer give you up to 9 different included dining experiences. So like Matt's just said, the only one that's chargeable is Anthology. But the restaurants on board are all speciality restaurants as well. Some of them are also open for breakfast and for lunch, which is really different across any cruise line, not just comparing with the rest of the ultra luxury cruises. But yeah, they're definitely comparable with a couple of extras. Their drink inclusions. It's so vast. Like, I'm not a whiskey drinker, but if anybody is, their choice of whiskey is incredible. There's a Japanese whiskey on board that I believe should cost about $50 per shot, and that's included free of charge. So, yeah, the
Wow.
list is endless.
I think you can get a wine. There is a wine list where you can order by the bottle and go further if you want to, but it's kind of unnecessary in a sense, right? There are like 50 different wines that you can choose from that are included.
Yeah, that sounds like a good chance to try things that you don't have to commit to. You don't have to buy, the whole thing yourself. That sounds lovely. So,
Also, mixologists on board as well.
what does that mean?
Well, rather than just your normal sort of bartender they'll know a good selection of drinks. We're talking an average cocktail. They'll know how to make, what you see in any bar, restaurant across the world. But mixologists, they will ask you for your flavor profile. If you like salty things, sweet things, what your baseline spirit is that you like, and they will personalize it and build you your own drink. And that's in any of the bars. So they really do take it to the next level.
Wow, that sounds quite different from the mainstream cruise lines I'm used to cruising with, where we have these 5 pre-packaged, no, we can't change that. It already comes out of the machine like this. That sounds great because I don't always know what I want to drink. If someone could make something up for me based on what I want, that sounds brilliant.
Tried it. They're incredible.
Yeah, they should
Really,
know.
genuinely, they nail it.
You have any good drinks on your cruise, Matt?
Actually, there's this one. I mean, I don't drink, so I was just chewing through the mocktail menu and trying as many as I could. But there is this one drink that I used to have so much as I grew up in Hong Kong, as you know, and like over there's all these old drinks from the back in the day that get perpetuated around the social clubs there. And there's this one drink that I remember from childhood. And I was like, I just teach it to one of these bartenders because they didn't know what it was. And then every time I went to that bar for the rest of the week, it was just kind of waiting for me when I came around the corner. I didn't necessarily want another one, but I remembered it and it was just like, was there for you waiting. It was kind of strange, but also lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I would think, well, they've gone to all the effort to make it. I think I'll start with that and then work my way through this. It sounds like it's just, at that point, it's not really a menu. It's an unlimited option of anything that you want. Yeah. Oh, it sounds amazing.
Their ethos as a cruise line is to say yes where possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can accommodate a guest's request, they will absolutely get it right for them.
Yeah. How many people were you're on Explorer 3? How many people, are they all the same, those ships?
Very similar, slightly different, but I think it was 920 something. Em would know the actual exact number.
922 across the fleet.
Of course, you know. But yeah, I'm very impressed as always. But no, yeah, we were told it was pretty full as well. It was only the second ever journey, they call it, not voyage, not cruise, journey on Explorer, on Explorer 3, that is. And
yep.
But what I found really impressive was that even though like literally every cabin was full, because I asked to see other ones, and of course, I want to see the other cabins on board just for the purpose of filming and intrigue. And no, like literally every cabin was full, which was pretty impressive. It's impressive when you think how calm and quiet the ship feels when you're wandering around, right? Like you're not waiting for a lift, literally ever, like more than 5 seconds, right? And you're never queuing. I don't think I queued the entire week, which is kind of, you don't notice it till you don't do it almost.
Yeah.
You kind of notice the absence of queues till you kind of think about it a few days later. But
yeah,
cool experience. I mean, like, I think quite impressive to do with still not, it's not like 300 people, right? 900 is still, I think it's still quite a considerable number, I guess. And they do a good job, I think, of making it feel so quiet.
I think that's testament to how they've built the ships as well. The ships could comfortably accommodate 2,000 passengers if they just reconfigured it. And before the ship build happened with Explorer 1, they, as a business, they went out to 50,000 ultra luxury cruisers and asked them what do they like about their chosen cruise line right now in the ultra luxury arena, even down to the exterior of the ship. So all of the ships have this real sleek black look to them. So you do find walking around the ship, if you've experienced ultra luxury cruises before, you can see little bits of other cruise lines. So it's kind of like they've built the best of all the other cruise line experiences and put it all together in the one.
By configured, you mean essentially where there's no, so that every cabin is a suite, it's a balcony suite as well. There's no inside cabins. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So if they configured the ship either with smaller accommodations across the board, or they changed the entire style and offered the more traditional inside ocean view balcony suite offering, they could fit 2,000 people. But their entry level is an ocean view terrace, which most people in the industry would refer to as a balcony suite.
Yeah.
So
I think this also makes sense when you consider the owner's residence, which I really wanted this little peek at, but I didn't get a look at. But they said it was 3,300 square feet.
3,337 square feet.
Pretty much like 2 times a big family home. I would say.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah.
And I have to say, that's not the biggest in the luxury arena either.
You couldn't possibly need more space than that, surely.
Yeah, you
I
can't.
don't think you need that much space, but no.
Exactly.
I couldn't be in that much space at the same time. Like, I'm only one person. I can't sit on everything and try everything at the same time.
Well,
Yeah.
it was full on this. It was full on this journey, I can tell you. So someone's taking advantage of it.
Yeah, of course. So I would like to talk about the food a little bit more, because I have looked through your footage of food, Matt, and I'm going to show some food here. But how does it work with dining? Do you have to book the different specialty restaurants? Is it my worst nightmare table sharing, fixed dining times? What is it like?
Absolutely no table sharing, other than I think in the main, they kind of have a sort of. They would definitely not call it a buffet, but it's the main space, and there happens to be lots of different options. You do not serve yourself; you get served. Call it a buffet or not, it's your choice. But it's called the Emporium Marketplace, and like it feels very central. That's on deck 11. It's it's in the absence of a main dining room, it kind of is the central option to eat, and it's like the default, I would say. And there's absolutely no booking there. You just wander in, always get a great seat. I literally all week didn't get a seat next to the window. It was that quiet, or that, there was that much space. But that has tons of options, like the most amazing sushi, full pizza oven churning out amazing pizzas, fresh pasta station, the whole sweets area, and at all times, like lobster tail being grilled and prawns being grilled. It's just like, it's pretty unreal for what is not a buffet, but feels maybe like it could be a buffet. And then there's all these other ones which feel more like a restaurant per se, right? You've got Fil Rouge, which is kind of a French theme. You've got Med Yacht Club, which is more Mediterranean, obviously more tapas inspired. And then you've got Sakura, which is Pan-Asian, I guess. Does it a disservice because it's incredible, but like an incredible sushi, incredible dim sum, that kind of stuff. You have Marble and Co., which is a steakhouse, and Anthology is the experimental kind of tasting menu one that's a bit extra. Am I missing any? I was on board.
That's a lot.
No, that's all of them. But you've also got 24-hour room service and in-suite dining. So those are two quite different things. The 24-hour room service that's a set menu. Most people are familiar with a 24-hour room service menu, but it's always complimentary. The in-suite dining is used generally for evening meal, and you can order into the suite from Emporium Marketplace or any of the other restaurants, and it will be served in your suite course by course. The room service attendants come and set up in the living area of the suite because there's a table. They set it up with a linen tablecloth with the dinner settings and cutlery, and you can order it course by course, and that's all complimentary.
And this is not just the menu on this, it needs a shout out, to be fair. This is a joke. Like, this is not like a normal dining menu. It's got like lobster mac and cheese and, lobster hot dog sort of thing. And then filet mignon and all sorts. Like, it's crazy. I did find myself one afternoon, I was working so bad to even say out loud that I was working. I sort of felt a bit peckish, which is a rarity on a cruise, obviously, but felt a little bit peckish about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and decided to order myself a filet mignon, which was delightful.
Why not?
Wow.
Yeah, mid-afternoon, and no one batted an eyelid, so all good. But I heard of other people just sort of liking particular dishes from different restaurants on board, and then, even though they're not on the in-suite dining menu, asking for them, and they would be brought to the, which is pretty cool. Like, there's this one insane dessert from the Med Yacht Club, which is semifreddo, which is just unbelievable. Sort of like a frozen Ferrero Rocher, I would say.
Ooh.
And it's like, I would go back there most nights for a dessert if I could.
This is crazy to me. This is
the
so
thing
far.
that makes it really cool for me, and I have been a huge foodie for years. I've always said if I wasn't in travel, I'd be in food. And I've been really lucky over my career to specialize in the ultra luxury arena for many, many years now. So I've sampled a lot great food on board. But what they've done differently is go to their culinary director is a guy called Frank Goranger, who came to Explora Journeys from a competitor, Oceania, and they have been well known in the industry for years as the cruise for foodies. So there's a lot of experience that came with Frank, and he actually tore apart the design of the first ships because he didn't like the kitchen designs once he joined the senior team. And they actually redesigned the ship in some part to accommodate its own kitchen per restaurant. So also for people who've got any dietary requirements, it's incredible because there's such fewer instances where cross-contamination can happen because each restaurant has their own kitchen rather than sharing a main galley that feeds into those kitchens. And that's why, Matt, when you're talking about Emporium Marketplace, everything's cooking stations. It's all freshly cooked right there in front of you. And it's why the food quality on board genuinely is exciting. Every single meal is incredible. Every snack, every sandwich, every garnish is perfection.
This sounds so good. It's making me very hungry. But let's move on to some of the other things that are included. So how about things like entertainment, spa? Is there a gym, exercise? Maybe Matt, talk about the things that you found, and I'm sure there's more that you maybe didn't take part in.
Didn't trouble the exercise too much, I will say. So in terms of, I went to film the gym, but I did not actually use it. Looked good if you were that way inclined. No, joke aside, the gym was all included. The spa, get this right, the spa element, the sort of whirlpool, steam room, salt room, which is a strange one. That was a new one for me. And sauna is, that's all included. And that was really good, actually. It's really cool, actually, because you can walk just outside of it and you're right like on this lower deck promenade sort of thing that you can look straight out, which is really cool. But then if you have treatments and stuff, that's extra. So like if you to do any of the massages, etc., that's going to be extra. And they have a whole hair salon as well, which again, I did not trouble, but I'm pretty sure that was extra too. But so that side of it's more, but the spa is awesome. The saunas are great. And then the other kind of, there's a running track or a walking track, depending on your bent, I suppose, going around on deck 12. And then the bit I probably spent most of the time at was the paddle court. They have a whole, this is like new for Explorer 3, different on Explorer 1 and 2, which is more pickleball, but this is paddle on Explorer 3. So the solid glass walls right on deck 14, most incredible view, top of the ship. And this was really cool. It was opened by Yannick Sinner a couple of weeks ago, the world #1 tennis player. And so that's their new like global brand ambassador. And that's all free. And it's really cool because they have it set up so that people kind of rotate onto the court. So it's a 4-person game paddle really, but you don't have to have 3 other people to play with because there's always someone coming and sort of subbing in. And they've got a nice guy there who's a guy called Zach, who was running the show and like making sure it was all fair and everyone's getting their time.
That does sound good. I was on a cruise recently I won't name the cruise line, but a budget cruise line, and they had some table tennis things, but you had to get the table tennis balls from reception, which was like 10 decks down. So that's a very different experience.
I think that also with basketball as well, because the paddle court doubles with basketball.
Yeah.
And I've been on a cruise before where you had to go down to sort of deck 4 to go get the basketball to come up and play basketball on deck 12. And this was like, seems strange to me. I do actually have some footage of me playing basketball, which I really hope you don't have because it was horrific. So,
well, I'll be the judge of that. But yeah, it feels like on these luxury cruises, you are more, trusted with things like basketballs, and that's nice.
It isn't trusting with them, just a sense of they don't trust you with it.
Yeah, well, they would know, there's less people there, so they're not trying to manage, some 6,000 people, someone here has got the basketball. Like that would be so hard. But on that small ship, not so much.
They certainly lost a lot of paddle balls. Not all through me, but saw a lot go. See. Yeah.
Is there anything that Matt's not mentioned that's included?
Well, you've got the Wi-Fi. It's great. Starlink, it works. It's incredible. It's free. You get up to 2 devices per suite until you get up to the much higher residencies, and then it expands to 4. There's no charge for gratuities. And I think this is a distinction that sometimes people maybe misunderstand. It's not that they charge them and already include them. They simply don't charge them whatsoever. So I think it's an important distinction, because sometimes, the service that you're then receiving on board from the crew, it's more genuine. When they're asking you, what have you done today? How's your day been? They want to actually get to know you as a person. They're asking because they're genuinely interested, not because they're hoping that a tip follows it if they offer really good service. So that's great. We've already covered, obviously, all the meals, apart from anthology, all the drinks, entertainment, absolutely. But the biggest thing for Explora Journeys is their wellness program. So all of those things that you've mentioned there, Matt, the gym, for instance, it's 50% larger than any other gyms at sea. So you've got way more space, more equipment for everybody to use. Again, no queues, all the complimentary things in the spa area, hydrotherapy pools, the salt rooms, which are really quite unique. They also do complimentary fitness classes, yoga classes, Pilates classes. They do actually have full personal trainers on board as well. They're not complimentary, but you can book and pay for full, personal training sessions. But then it's all the little things that you don't notice sometimes. So because of their health and wellness program, every bathroom on board, both public and private, has a unique scent that has been created by Explora Journeys, and it's to promote better sleeping and better wellness, and that is throughout the entire ship. They do sell it. It's not cheap. I bought a version of it when I was on board mine. I didn't realise the price until I'd bought it, but I'd already bought it.
There you go. There are things you can spend money on.
There you go, yeah.
Yep. I'm not saying that I recommend that, because it was €92 for a bottle about this size, but you live and learn. But other than that, there isn't really much that you can spend any money on. But even, and I think it is up on deck 12, as you're going round the running or walking track, there are other sort of gym facilities out in the open air as well.
Yes.
Just pull-up bars. There's all of these sorts of little extras that you just wouldn't notice, initially at least. They've also got 5 pools on board, which is phenomenal. And some of them are at the backs of the ship, so you get incredible views. They're infinity-style pools. You've got infinity whirlpools down the sides of the ship, and the ships all have a retractable roof. So in the conservatory area, irrelevant of where you're sailing in the world, if it's a cold climate, in there it's always really nice and warm, and they keep it as a tropical climate. So even in colder destinations, you can still feel like you're in a tropical environment. It's great.
The one thing on what's not included that is actually included on some other ultra luxury lines is laundry. There's no, on the first 2 suite grades, there's no included laundry. I mean, obviously that's not the end of the world at all. There's an incredible laundrette that's open 24/7 on like 2 or 3 decks, I think. So the laundrette was great, but the actual laundry service is, I think, free from the penthouse up, or you get some from the penthouse up, but not at the 2 like entry. No, they're not entry level in any other book, but they're entry level suite grades. But yeah, just at one point on that Wi-Fi, it was unreal. To be fair, I did pretty much a full working week on board, and I didn't think that was possible on a cruise ship with like proper Zoom calls and loads of uploading of videos and whatnot. And it did everything you needed, and anywhere on the ship as well. Sometimes you have to, it sort of works better in your cabin, doesn't work in the public area as well, or the other way around. It's exactly the same everywhere.
Yeah, I've been on cruises before where I've had it only in the cabin if the door's open, and I'm like laying on the floor trying to get the Wi-Fi. So that's
Perfect.
so good. I think we should say very quickly how people can get in contact with us if they do want to book a cruise. That was a brilliant bit you said there. But if they want to get in contact with us, do it through the Cruise Globe app on the website. Anything to add to that, Em? They will come through to our whole team. And yeah, we have some Explora Journeys experts on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, like you've said, there's the app, there's the website, they can fill out the form. Equally, they can email us at bookings@thecruiseglobe.com, and one of our advisors will be in touch within a couple of hours, within a normal working day at least. And we've got some really good level of expertise, not just with Explora Journeys. We've got such a wide breadth of knowledge throughout the agency, whether it's pick any sort of mainstream cruise line, river cruising, ultra luxury, expedition, you name it, we've got it covered.
Yeah, I've been on 88 cruises now, and I'm learning so much every single day. There's so much more that I'm learning. So one thing we've not talked about in this video that is included, of course, is your cabin. But we're going to talk about that in this video, which is going to pop up here in 3, 2, 1.